as you start to appreciate, truly appreciate the little things, like notice beautiful things in your home that you enjoy, whether it's in an Airbnb or a hotel, or because when I travel, I try to focus on everything I can enjoy in the hotel room or the gracious, people in the lobby, and I chat with them and I get to know them. I'll step out of the elevator and somebody say, "You're looking fly today," because I'm just coming out with that, you know, happiness and that joy and looking for how can I love on somebody, and it just comes back, right? And that's the other thing. If you're feeling self-conscious, focus on how you can love on other people around you. Focus on the good thing in somebody else and compliment them without needing anything in return. Just notice you have a beautiful dress on. Wow, that's a gorgeous smile. It's unbelievable what comes back and how you feel just in saying something kind to somebody else. And those things will change the way you walk in the world. And they will help you walk past any self consciousness because you're focused on seeing the beauty in everybody, no matter what they look like. And you know what that does? Help you come back and focus on the beauty that's in you without having to imagine that it needs to be something else, right? Focus on the beauty that is you now, but do it by also doing that for every person you meet, every person you see. If somebody looks grouchy, maybe you can see something that gives them a smile. You can say something complimentary that you see, and you might get a smile. And if you don't, no worries. Don't take it personal. That person's either got earbuds in, you didn't realize it, right? Or they're so focused on something going on with them, it's not personal, but if you're walking around doing that, if you practice doing that, if your goal when you get up in the morning before you go out in the world is, how can I be loving to others? What can I do that supports and loves, encourages others throughout the day? What'll happen is it comes back to you. And at night, you have things to now appreciate about yourself, right? Wow, I gave that lady a compliment and she smiled and gave, and said something back, or it turned into this beautiful conversation, or this little kid was darling, and he had manners and he said something polite and I let his mom know and she loved it. It's crazy how you take the focus off yourself and you focus on others, and then you appreciate yourself and others, but you come home and you appreciate those things and the things that you soaked up and enjoyed. It changes the way you walk in the world, and it changes how you feel, and it's definitely a beautiful way to transform self-consciousness. Because when you're focusing on others and not on yourself, if somebody gives you a funny look, that's on them. They're having a bad day, or they're, in a judgment moment, and it does not about you. And if you're focused on finding people to give compliments to and looking for people who could use a kind word, that stuff starts to roll off your back. It starts to not matter anymore. And then you can dance out of joy because you feel so much joy. You're walking around finding things to enjoy, things to appreciate. Your goal on your walk, your goal every day and whatever you're doing, what can I appreciate? I've been doing that lately, and traffic's horrible, and I'm like, look at the beautiful clouds. Look at the way those birds fly, and the way they land in groups, and noticing things that we don't normally notice and appreciating them. And I just filled with so much good stuff. And then inspirations come and ideas come, and it's so crazy awesome. And it takes the reflection off of worrying about myself or what I'm doing, or right, or how it looks, because so much more focused on the other person. How can and I fail at times, and then I can get back on track. Sometimes you're talking to somebody and it's a difficult conversation. It's like, how can I step back and figure out how to serve this person in a better way? What is my option here for clarity? And when I focus that way, the conversation that was difficult becomes easier, because it becomes difficult because I'm feeling like, well, they're not hearing me, they're not listening. But my focus is becoming more about me and less about them. And I can change that by thinking, well, how can that doesn't mean that you're going to choose to forever be in conversations with difficult people, right? You're not going to keep those people close to you and then battle out, how can I do this every day? Because that's not good for you. And it doesn't benefit them because they're not going to benefit from that. But if you're in a short-term situation, that's a way to get yourself back on track and continue to have a magnificent day and not let that person's challenges take you down in any way.